Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Dean has been sentenced and he is currently in jail for the murder of Atatiana Jefferson. But as far as I'm concerned, and you can let me know how you feel in the comments section, his sentence is a travesty of justice. And we have to realize as long as these folks are in charge, nothing is going to be right for us in criminal court. And this is the way it is. He got 11 years and 10 months. So they pretty much gave him an Amber Geiger sentence for a murder. To me, if the public commits a murder and we get longer sentences, these cops should not ever get a break. They never get a sentence that matches what the public would get. And that has always been an ongoing thing in this country. So 11 years shooting through a window of a woman that was just in a room playing video games with her nephew. The door propped open. All he had to do was announce that the police was at the door. How hard was that? Seriously, how hard would it have been for him to do that? And the call came in on a non-emergency line, but he took it upon himself to believe that it was an armed robbery in progress, a burglary in progress. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video and I'll be right back.
Verdict reads, we the jury, having found the defendant Aaron York Dean guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the offense of manslaughter, assess his punishment at confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 11 years, 10 months, 12 days. They do not assess a fine.
Atatiana Jefferson was a bright, vibrant light.
The safest place for her to be, and yet turned out to be the most dangerous. She was murdered.
Okay, so you saw the video. I don't like the sentence. I don't like it. I think it is way too low amount of time for what he did. So, a white former Texas officer who fatally murdered a black woman through a window of her home October 2019 was sentenced to 11 years, 10 months in prison on Tuesday. The former officer, Aaron Dean, was found guilty of manslaughter Thursday in a fatal shooting of Atatiana Jefferson, 28 at that time, who had been playing video games with her 8-year-old nephew. Dean was responding to Jefferson's home after a neighbor called the non emergency line around 2 a.m. to say he noticed an open door. So her front door was open. So the jurors, they deliberated for about 13 hours before handing down the sentence. So Dean did not speak as the sentence was being read, and he was taken immediately into custody. So Jefferson's sister, Ashley Carr, called her a beautiful flower just starting to bloom as she delivered a victim's impact speech. My sister didn't do anything wrong. No, she didn't. She should still be here as far as I'm concerned. She was in her home, which should have been the safest place for her to be. Well, that has not been proven to be correct. So the jury deliberation, remember, there were no black men and women on this jury. This jury was all white, non black people on the jury. So they deliberated on Monday after hearing testimony from witnesses, including Jefferson's brother and a forensic psychiatrist who conducted Dean's psychological evaluation before he became a police officer in Fort Worth. So Kyle Clayton told jurors that he had concluded that Dean was not psychologically suitable to serve as a police officer. And an evaluation suggested that Dean was a narcissist. That's the kind of personality he had. And that would inhibit his judgment and make him more likely to engage in behaviors that could put himself and others at risk. Now, this was the first person to psychologically evaluate him, okay? And then two other people gave him, actually, it was a panel of three psychiatrists that gave him the nod to be a police officer. So they overruled Kai Clayton, the first psychiatrist that actually was correct. They overruled him. A panel of three psychiatrists overruled him and let him become a police officer. Can you imagine if they would have went by that first evaluation? Tatiana Jefferson would be alive at this very moment. Okay? And her oldest brother, Darius Carr, also testified that his sister was a caring woman who moved back home to Fort Worth and cared for her nephew because the boy's mother and grandmother were both in the hospital with heart problems. Okay, so that's why she moved back and she stepped in. Now they always spoke about her mother being ill. I did know about that, but they never said anything about the nephew's mother. So she also had heart issues. So that's why she stepped in to take care of her young nephew. I mean, look, it sounds like she was a very nice person, you know, very caring, and she took time and spent time with her nephew. So Carr said Jefferson was always a flawless student and she dreamed of becoming a doctor after she was diagnosed with diabetes as a preteen. So a jury also heard from Elizabeth Turner, who accused Dean of grabbing her and touching her breast, wow, without her consent when they both were in college. Dean was issued a citation for simple assault over the issue and pled no contest and paid a fine. So he was doing all kinds of stuff even prior to being a cop. So y'all knew this about him before becoming a cop and you let him still be a cop? Only in America. Only in America you'll see something like that and still believe a person is fit to do police work. Only in this old demonic place. So the defense witnesses on Friday included Dean's mother, who said he became an officer because he wanted to help people. Yeah, well, he didn't help Tatiana Jefferson. He murdered her. That don't look like help to me. Sound like uh, Derek Chauvin's mother, don't she? Oh, he's a good boy. He want to help people. No, you birthed a demon. So, her name is Donna Dean, and she claimed Aaron Dean was smart and a hard worker. Y'all always say that crap. I've heard that about all kinds of people that have been caught up in trouble, and they be doing some of the most heinous things, but they're the smartest and brightest and the best and this and that. Yeah, whatever. So, anyway, the jury gave their verdict, and wow. There was a murder charge on the table, and this jury rejected the murder charge, y'all, which could have given him up to life in prison. But they took that completely off the table. That's what they did. And so, because of that, He now has 11 years. And I think that is nothing for taking a life. Nothing. Y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this one. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.